The Kratky method is one of the best hydroponic systems for beginners. It is a completely passive system which requires little to no maintenance after setting up. It's pretty much a build and forget system. If you grow vegetables at home or are an enthusiast of hydroponic or even a farmer looking for an easy, little maintenance system, this method can be handy and contribute to your production. Let's see what it is all about. Today, we explain how a Kratky hydroponic system works. For this, we will review what are the components of the system and how they interact with each other to reach their goal, which is to grow a nice and healthy plant. The first component is a reservoir. It will hold the water and oxygen, and the plant roots will grow in it while the leaves and stem grow at the surface. In second, we have the water which is placed in the tank. This water will be used up by the roots as they grow. In this water, we will have our third component, nutrients. These nutrients will support plant growth and health as the plant consumes them. Our fourth component is the oxygen the plant needs for its roots and at the surface. The fifth component is the lid of the reservoir. It is used to prevent evaporation, to keep the reservoir dark to prevent algae growth, and to hold the net pot. The net pot is the sixth component. By being maintained at the surface of the reservoir, it allows the plant roots to soak in the water below, while the stem and leaves grow outside of the reservoir. Then, we have the growing medium, or root support, as our seventh component. It is the medium in which the roots of the plant develop. They attach themselves to it and supports the stem above. Number 8 is the seedling, which growth is supported by all the other components. The choice of the other components and their characteristics all depends on the nature of the seedling. Finally, light is our ninth component, which can be either natural ambient light or artificial light. This light will affect the growth rate of the plant by providing it with more or less energy. That's it. Together, these 9 components give us the Kratky system. So, why is Kratky an interesting method? What makes Kratky system special is the way in which oxygen is supplied to the plant. As we mentioned before, oxygen is one of the system components. The plant needs it at the surface for respiration through leaves, but also in the reservoir for respiration through roots. Oxygen at the surface is not an issue, it's there anyway, but in the reservoir, it is another story. There is oxygen in the air, but there is also oxygen in the water. This is called dissolved oxygen. In systems like deep water culture, where the plant roots are entirely submerged in water, an air pump is placed in the water to increase the amount of dissolved oxygen in it, so that the plant roots can use it up. Without this pump, the plant will consume all the available dissolved oxygen and will drown. The difference in the Kratky system, which is what makes it so special, is that an air pocket is left between the lid of the reservoir and the water level. The air pocket provides oxygen to the roots, also called air roots, dedicated to respiration. As the plant grows, it will consume the water through its water roots, which, by reducing the water level and exposing themselves to air, will turn into more air roots able to consume the available oxygen. This adaptation of the system to the plant's requirements makes the system passive, which means no adjustments and maintenance is needed. It can be built, left alone, and then harvested. This is the main advantage of the Kratky method. However, if no water and nutrients is added after the system is built, thus the plant runs out of water or nutrients at some point. This stock and flow diagram can illustrate this. As the plant grows, it consumes air, water, and nutrients. The arrow with a plus illustrates the flow of water, air, and nutrients in the plant, which makes it grow. With this growth, however, the quantity of water and nutrients diminish. Here illustrated with a minus arrow. only the quantity of air increase. Since as the plant grows, water and nutrients quantities diminish and only air increase, a runout of these components is therefore possible. This is why Kratky users need to calculate the amount of water and nutrients a plant needs before setting up the system, so that by the time both these components runs out, the plant is ready for harvest. Of course, the quantities you will need will vary depending on what you grow. For example, the plants most compatible with Kratky methods are leafy greens, like lettuce or spinach. They are good for the system because they have a fast growing rate. In 20 to 30 days, they will be ready for harvest and the plant will not have consumed all of the water. Other plants like tomatoes, which require 40 to 50 days before harvest, will require a much larger reservoir, as their growth rate is slower. How is the growth rate related to the water level? Well, different plant species consume water at different rate, but generally, the more time a plant will spend in the system, the more time it will have to consume it. Therefore, a slower growth rate will consume more water and will require a larger reservoir. This is it for our review of the Kratky system. I will make other reviews of hydroponic systems and detailed videos on how to choose each component. Keep in mind that I am learning alongside you and that the information shared here is just my understanding of what I found online, experience building some systems, and logics. So if you see areas of improvements, please let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video. If it provided some value to you, let me know how it helped, leave a like and subscribe to follow the journey. Until then, I wish you some good growth.